Hello everybody, how are you? Hope you guys are doing great. I am Ian Dupree. I am your Navy transition coach, and I am here to help you to navigate life both in and out of the Navy. Okay, so as most of you guys know, this is my drill weekend. I come on here whenever I am doing Navy stuff, whether it's a resched, drill weekend, annual training, some other training that I got going on. Whenever I'm doing Navy stuff, I usually make my videos. So if you don't see me make a lot of videos, most likely I'm not doing a bunch of Navy stuff. But I try to get something on here at least once a month because, you know, I do drills and stuff at least once a month. Nonetheless, so the last video that I posted was about me doing travel and my check-in for everything, like the car, hotel, all the other things, plus NDOC for annual training. Now, the song that I usually use for my intro and just throughout my videos, it's usually like not copywritten, so I don't know what the issue is now. So if you guys can't hear me, I do apologize in advance, but I think it's some pretty good content on there, some pretty good information for you guys to watch and stuff, to hear. So highly suggest you go out and check that video. Go check the video out. It's like over 30 minutes long, like 31 minutes or something, but it goes through literally everything that you have to do regarding annual training, like getting up. I don't think I packed my bags. No, I ain't packed my bags on camera, but like getting up, being at the airport on time, making sure you go through the proper section. You can go through TSA or you can wait a long time. Like, it's just, and plus I give some more information that you need to know about annual training and scheduling, and just, it's a bunch of stuff, very good stuff. Go check it out. Now, I wanted to come on here because, number one, I have not made a lot of videos recently. And also I have not made a bunch of response videos to a lot of the questions that I get. I haven't really been on YouTube that much. Life has been lifing. I got married. So life has been lifing, friends. Okay, so I haven't really been focused on YouTube. But on this video, I want to go over some of the questions that I have gotten on YouTube from people. So here we go. By the way, if you guys hear a lot of noise, you see a lot of uniforms going back and forth around my car, it's because I am at lunch recording this video, and we all come here to eat. This is called Piccadilly in Marietta, Georgia. On drill weekends, the food be so good. I'm telling y'all, everybody be getting these chicken tenders here. One day I tried out the chicken tenders and I was like, okay, I see why they always get chicken tenders, but the food here is super good. It's like a buffet style. Well, not buffet like self-serve buffet, but like pick out of a multitude of options buffet. You can never miss here. It's really good. If you ever come, try the carrot souffle. Anyway, I was once connected to the internet, but now I'm not. I was trying to get free internet from somewhere, but they basically saying, no, girl, you can't have free internet right now. So let me get back to my other thing. I turned on my, what is it called? My hotspot on my phone. I prefer not to do that, but let's just get this stuff knocked out. So while this is loading, I took my exam this morning. Yes, I did. I think there's a little bit of some changes on the exam. There are definitely some changes, like how the exam is actually set up. What I remember is they ask the questions in order. Like, they talk about this type of stuff, and then they go to this type of stuff, and then they go to this type of stuff. But they're doing it out of order. Like, it's just like they took a big old group of questions and just threw it at the paper, and it just, all the questions is out of order. That's how I feel this go around, but I think I did better than the last time. You guys will see on the video about annual training that I learned so much while on annual training. All I did was really training stuff, and kind of learned like what I would be doing if I had to get mobilized for my unit. Excuse me. And yeah, I learned a lot. I think some of it helped on the exam. Some, not as much as I thought it would, but it definitely helped. I was quite shocked at that, because my last annual training that I did, it did not help, because they don't talk about, you know, how to set up a tent and how to clear a room on your exam as an engineman, you know. So anyway, let's go to these questions. I'm just going to my notifications and responding. No guarantee that you're going to get a good response. I'm just saying. Okay, so there's a lot of questions that I have not answered. Ooh, that ain't no good. Come on. Ian too. Okay. So at Natural 643 commented, for DCO, is there an age gap? And do they go to OCS also? I was thinking about going that route, reserve as an officer, then go active duty. DCO, direct commission, they don't go to OCS, but they do have, like, I think it's a 3-week training that they do have to do. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Please do your own research. But I was talking to one of the officers that I do funeral honors with, and she was saying that you don't do OCS, like, you know, the officer candidate school, but there is a program that you still have to go, training that you still have to go through. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about going officer myself. I feel like every officer that I talk to recommends it. Is like, yeah, you should definitely do it. But I don't know about the process, so we'll see how that goes. But I got to do something, because engineman life is not the life for me. Next question, at Metishes 2, I hope I said that right. Who will cover my mortgage while I go to boot camp? Will my employer still continue to pay me? You have to cover your own expenses at all times, regardless. That's just the way it is. The military does not give you money up front to pay your bills or to take care of your responsibilities. That's something that you're going to have to do. You're going to have to plan for, essentially. So it's possible for your employer to pay you. It's up to their policies. There are some companies that will pay you the difference that you would have been paid if you were there, like subtracting your military income. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, there's some companies that will continue to pay you a certain amount up to a certain time period. When I was on active duty the last time, and I was stationed in Japan as a recruiter, my coworker, he was actually getting paid while he was there. So I know it's possible, but it's up to your employer. However, I will say this, you can keep your job, okay? You can keep the job. You might not be able to keep the same position in the job, but you can keep the job with equal or higher pay when you return, but up to a certain amount of time. There is an act called the USERA Act that will basically essentially allow you to keep your job without getting fired, or go do military duties up to a certain amount of time without getting fired. I think that's up to 5 years. Could be wrong. Please let me know if I am in the comments. All right, next question. Talib 904 commented, for non-priors, join the Army National Guard or National Guard if you want part time with the state, the state has excellent benefits, and on top of that they get the same GI Bill. The reserves get on top of. So this person is just talking about the benefits of being in the National Guard or Air National Guard. Wasn't really a question. I'm gonna try to not talk about the stuff that's not really in question form. Somebody did say that they would love to do funeral honors. That's not a question. Lionel Sims says, every time I watch, just great info and keeps you fresh with current events. Well, good. Okay, so I think this is kind of a question. Jaden Boyd H4B says, so about $220 times 4 is about how much people get per month, and it increases with time and rank? No. It's not $220 times 4. So this person is responding to my video that says how to make money in the Navy reserves. I think they're trying to essentially see how you get paid for drill weekend. So your drill weekend is broken down into 4 periods. Okay, you get paid for each period. All right. The Saturday is 2 periods and the Sunday is 2 periods. The periods is the morning and the afternoon. Okay, when you go there first thing in the morning, 0700, they do roll call. That's you getting marked off as getting paid for period 1. Okay. When you come back after lunch and they do roll call again, and your name is checked off, that's you getting paid for period 2 on day 1. Okay, and then the same thing for day 2. So the way that it's broken down, if you go to, I want to say it's DFAS, but if you look at the pay chart, okay, when you look at a pay chart, the Navy Reserves pay chart, or you just Google military pay chart, you'll see where it says active and you'll see where it says reserves. If you go down to the reserve section, you'll see where it says drill 1. Drill 1 is what you get paid for the day, like 1 day, if I'm not mistaken. Or might say like the drill period. I'm not about to look it up. It's going to be too much. I got other stuff going on right now. I still need to go eat, so I'm not going to look it up. You guys go look it up yourself. Just Google military pay chart, look for the reserves option or chart. It's only active in reserves chart, and you'll see where it gives the amount for the whole drill weekend, and then it gives amount for just 1 drill period. So for me, with my time and rate, with my time in service and my rank, after taxes for 1 drill period, so like a Saturday morning period, after taxes, I get paid $123.47. Why do I know this? Because I do funeral honors full time, and they pay you by the drill period. I think it's 1 full day. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Yes. So 1 period for me is $123.47. So this person said, so $220 times 4 is about how much you get paid per month. For me, it is $124.47 times 4. And that's how much I get paid per drill weekend. Okay? 4 drill periods, 1 weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So for 1 weekend, drill weekend, I get paid $123 times 4. This person, they got it messed up because $220 is a bit much for 1 drill period. So yeah, it all depends on your time in service, like this person said, as well as your rank. Okay, moving on. Let's see, next question. So someone says, I like your videos. I subscribe. I'm sorry, Monique Mickey 4383 says, I like your videos. I subscribed. I'm thinking about Navy Reserves and Army Reserve. I'm thinking what's best. You have to think about, you have to, I don't know, hear from other people and their experiences, weigh the pros and cons, the benefits. I don't know much about Army Reserves, but I feel like they do things very different over there than Navy does. I remember I was talking to this one lady, or soldier, I'm sorry. I almost called her sailor. I was talking to this one soldier who was in the Army Reserves, but she was doing funeral honors, but it was a full-time job, if that makes sense. I know it doesn't, but I was very confused. I'm like, how are you in the Navy Reserves, which means part-time, but you're doing this full-time? It didn't really make sense. Like, she didn't say she was on active orders or anything like that. She said, I'm in the reserves, but I'm on funeral full-time. So she would literally, if there was a funeral that popped up, she said that she would have basically like a list of funerals to go and do for the day, and then she'd be done, and she gets paid just like an active duty person. So again, you have to do your own research, ask Army people more questions, ask Navy people more questions to see what works best for you. Okay. So Monique also said, great, thank you. This is her responding to my 5 facts Navy Reserves deployment video. Great, thank you. This is what I wanted to know. I'm joining Navy Reserve. I prefer this instead of active. Great, glad she got the answers that she needed. All right. Someone said, oh, Monique said, thank you for being honest, because she was responding to another video where I was very annoyed and frustrated as to why I wasn't getting paid while I was doing trainings and drills and all that stuff in the Navy. She said, may I ask if you ever got paid? I'm afraid to join Navy Reserves. She's all over the place, as you can see. She's commenting a lot, but that's okay. It's better to get the information that you need to be prepared and equipped for Navy Reserves life, instead of just going in and then dropping the ball or quitting or ruining opportunities for yourself. So although she might be all over the place right now, at least she's getting the information that she needs to be successful when she joins. So I did eventually get paid, of course, but it's very important to note, it does not matter who you are, where you go. There's always a processing time in the Navy. So when you want to go from civilian to reserve life, there's still a process for you to get paid. When you want to go from reserves to active duty orders, not active duty contract, but just orders, like 3-year orders, there's still a processing time for you to actually get paid. It's unfortunate, but if you just have it in your mind, it doesn't matter what you do in the military. When you want to go from one thing to the next in regards to pay, expect a lag time. But yes, I did get paid. Joshua James 121 says, unless you signed your contract as a reservist, you have a lot more flexibility. He was responding to what is FTS, aka TAR video. Okay, let's see. So Sarah Jessica 299 says, I'm a civilian looking to join the Navy, but I don't know which route to take. I want to be a hospital corpsman, so I was wondering if that would be possible as a TAR FTS reservist. Sarah Jessica 299, if you're watching this, the answer to your question is yes, okay? But again, you have to remember, you have to qualify for whatever rate you want to be, whatever job you want to have in the military. You have to qualify, and there has to be positions open. All right. Monique Mickey 4383 says on a separate video, one of my shorts, my YouTube shorts, may I please ask, how was it after a while on the ship? I'm joining the Navy, but most people don't like the ship. Well, if I could be honest with you, Miss Monique, my first ship, I wanted to leave. I was less than 30 days in. I wanted to get up off the ship, get out of the Navy. I was done. I was over it, baby. I was not for it. When I tell you I was not for it, no. And it wasn't the ship that was the issue. It wasn't being underway. It wasn't the water that was the issue. It wasn't the job that was the issue. It was the people. It was the people. It was very unfortunate that the people were not very good people, in my opinion. And if you was on the ship that I'm talking about, when I first joined the Navy, baby, I'm talking about you. You did not make it a very great experience for somebody who's new. I'm just saying, like it or not, I don't care. You did not make it very great. And honestly, that's how it is. That's how it was for me on every ship I went to. I only been on 2, thank God. And the crazy part is that I really liked the ship life. I loved being out to sea. I loved going out and looking at the water, looking over the water and just breathing. I loved being underway. I really enjoyed being on the ship. I just really didn't enjoy working with people on the ship. And eventually I started to realize other skills, talents, gifts, and abilities that I had. And I realized that job as an engineman that I had on the ship, it wasn't serving me. It wasn't allowing me to be the best version of myself. So, I don't know. It just wasn't really my forte. I would love to go back to a ship, but definitely not as an engineman. And then again, life has changed now. I have a family. I ain't trying to go back. Not for a long period of time. I go out there for maybe 14 days, but I'm not trying to be away from my family. I did that. I'm not interested. Not interested. But things outside of, working with the people, ship life, getting used to being on the ship. If you ain't been on a ship, it might be a little, hard for you, getting your sea legs is what they call it. Learning how to walk on the walls is a real thing because the ship rocks, right? Depending on the size of your ship. If you're in a carrier, you might not feel the ship rock as much. But if you're on a DDG, which is a smaller ship, that's the first ship that I was on, stationed in Japan, I definitely walked on the walls a couple times. But I don't know, it was good. Experience it, Go. If you don't like it, don't go back. Get out the Navy. Or do something different. But don't base your whole life around other people's opinions and experiences. And then just make it end all be all. You might actually like it. Try it out. Another question I have is Mega Indiana 123 says, is the program limited or will it continue to be funded? And this person is talking specifically about my video that says free money for college. I want to say it was extended. So this is talking about tuition assistance. Excuse me. I want to say it's still out there, but I don't know for sure. This video was taken or is given maybe, I know it was sometime this year. Whatever happened, usually the Navy does things per fiscal year. So if they bring something new out, they're not going to give you 120 days or 60 days or 30 days and then just cut off the program. They're going to go from fiscal year to fiscal year. So from October to October. So I would guess that this is still an opportunity for people as long as funds are still available. So if all the funds are dried out before October 2024, then unfortunately you won't be able to use the program if they cut off the program. But I think they're extending the program or doing it again. Okay, next question. Eric Meyer says, hello, I remember you from when I was a CANREC. Oh, okay. I would like a copy of the RC to AC application, please. Also, do you know what happens when a cell res wants to go RC to AC? Hold on. And they are getting VA disability. I know that for CANREC, the VA payments get put on hold, but I don't know for someone that wants to go full active. It's the same thing, Eric Meyer, if you're watching this. It's the same thing. If you want to go from reserve to active duty, all of that will be put on hold. Okay, you won't still get paid. You'll get to keep your disability rating. And then when you get out, when you leave active duty or retire or whatever, you'll start getting paid again at that same rating. But I suggest that if you can, I don't know for sure, but if you can do the, I think it's BC, I don't know, it's something, essentially before you get out of the military, you go through the whole VA process. It's so much easier. I wish I would have actually did it when I was in Japan, but that's neither here nor there. But the answer to your question, just like CANREC, you will have to put the VA money on hold. All right, so let's see. Next question. I don't know if this is a question. Let me see. Not really a question, but I guess I'll read it anyway. So Victoria V 1673 says, currently active, thinking about going TAR, but haven't been able to get enough of my questions answered to learn what I need to know to make a confident decision. So one thing I want people to know when it comes to going TAR from active duty is you're still going to be active duty. Everything's going to be the exact same. Of course, if you go from active to TAR, you're most likely going to be changing rates. So let's say you're an AO on active duty, but you want to go YN FTS, you're still going to be active duty, right? It's not reserve activity. It's not 1 week in a month activity. It is full time. You come to work from 07 to 1600 or whatever working hours are. And yeah, you're going to be doing active duty stuff. The only difference is TAR is here to support reserves. It's reserve support specifically. Now, what that actually looks like for you and your rate or your job and where you're going to be located, it's not up to me. I don't have any decision on that. And I don't even understand how that even makes sense, because there's a lot of TAR people that's actually on ships too. So if your whole goal is to not be on a ship, just because you go TAR does not mean you won't go on a ship, okay? But I will say that a lot of TAR sailors do go to reserve centers, okay? They do go to reserve centers. So I call it NOS or NRCs. All right, next question. Anaya Shea Lafou 8996 said, what if you are a nurse? What rank will you join as, and requirements, please? So that's some research you're going to have to do yourself, Anaya. However, one thing I did recently learn is if you are a civilian, you can very well come into the military as an officer, but it doesn't have to be the lowest ranking officer. It could be a lieutenant. It could be a lieutenant junior grade. It all, of course, is dependent on your experiences and your qualifications and all that stuff. But yes, there are different programs in the military, different officer programs, different requirements. Not all officers are the same. Not all requirements are the same. So go and look up the nursing program option, and that's where you'll get that information that you need. All right, next question. Junior Reyes 7789 said, So would you get hold on, let me click this one. Would you get more of a choice to go certain places, or is it wherever they choose? If you choose to go to voluntary mobilization as an MASA. An MASA is a Master at Arms Seaman Apprentice. That is a rate in the military. It's like a police officer in the military. So they're talking about the 5 Facts Navy Reserves deployment video. If you volunteer, then you could choose where you're going, right? Volunteering for a MOB isn't saying, hey, here's my name to be put in a bucket, I want to go. Necessarily, it could be that, I don't know for sure, but yeah, it's really not. When you're going on a mobilization, they're usually telling you where you're going to be going, right? Whether it's Djibouti, whether it's Bahrain, you're going to know where you're going. That's why, you're volunteering for that specific position or opportunity. So yes, you do get more of a choice as to where you go, but it won't be necessarily like Hawaii or Japan or anything like that, if that's, places that you're interested in going to. Hope that was helpful. All right, that was the last question I got. Yeah, I'm sure there's way more questions, but they're all on my phone, unfortunately. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please make sure you leave them down below. I don't have anything coming out for you guys to assist, but I am definitely thinking about different things. Definitely thinking about how I can assist you guys in a better way. I noticed that you guys are definitely signing up to be a part of my email list and called The Next Step, where I just give you guys some helpful information on how to take a next step from going through different things within the Navy and out of the Navy. Thank you guys for signing up. If you guys again have any more in-depth questions, please feel free to ask, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye, y'all.